In Fear and Trembling, Kierkegaard analyzed the terrifying tale of Abraham and what he was willing to do to his own son, make a human sacrifice of him. Kierkegaard wrote, "In case that rich young man whom Christ encountered on the road had sold all his goods and given to the poor, we should extol him, as we do all that is great, though without labor we would not understand him, and yet he would not have become an Abraham, in spite of the fact that he offered his best. What they leave out of Abraham's history is dread. For to money I have no ethical obligation, but to the son the father has the highest and most sacred obligation. Dread, however, is a perilous thing for effeminate natures, hence they forget it, and in spite of that, they want to talk about Abraham. So they talk. In the course of the oration they use indifferently the two terms, Isaac and the best. All goes famously. However, if it chanced that among the auditors there was one who suffered from insomnia, then the most dreadful, the profoundest, tragic and comic misunderstanding lies very close. He went home. He would do as Abraham did, for the son is indeed the best. If the orator got to know of it, he perhaps went to him. He summoned all his clerical dignity. He shouted, 'O abominable man, offscouring of society, what devil possessed thee to want to murder thy son?' And the parson, who had not been conscious of warmth or perspiration in preaching about Abraham, is astonished at himself, at the earnest wrath which he thundered down upon that poor man. He was delighted with himself, for he had never spoken with such verve and unction. He said to himself and to his wife, 'I am an orator. What I lacked was the occasion. When I talked about Abraham on Sunday, I did not feel moved in the least. In case the same orator had a little superabundance of reason which might be lost, I think he would have lost it if the sinner were to say calmly and with dignity, "That, in fact, is what you yourself preached on Sunday." How could the parson be able to get into his head such a consequence? And yet it was so, and the mistake was merely that he didn't know what he was saying. Would there were a poet who might resolve to prefer such situations, rather than the stuff and nonsense with which comedies and novels are filled. The comic and the tragic here touch one another at the absolute point of infinity. Do you get it? If a preacher says you should sacrifice your best for God, you must murder your children, exactly as Abraham was prepared to do. If you actually did it, you would be regarded as the worst of monsters. Abraham was willing to do it, and was in the act of doing it. In what way does that not make him a psychopath? Are all Abrahamists a lethal danger to the rest of us?